Nainital pronunciation is a popular hill station in the Indian state of Uttarakhand and headquarters of Nainital district in the Kumaon foothills of the outer Himalayas. Situated at an altitude of 2,084 meters above sea level, Nainital is set in a valley containing a pear-shaped lake, approximately 2 miles in circumference, and surrounded by mountains, of which the highest are Naina, on the north, Deopatha, on the west, and Ayarpatha, on the south. From the tops of the higher peaks, magnificent views can be obtained of the vast plain to the south, or of the massive tangled ridges lying north, bounded by the Great Snowy Range which forms the central axis of the Himalayas. Geography and climate. Nainital is located at 29.38 degree N 79.45 degree E/29.38. 79.45. The slopes of the nearby mountains are most populated, with an elevation ranging from 1,940 to 2,100 am. The highest point nearby is Nanni Peak or China Peak, with an elevation of 2,619 am. Nainital has temperate summers, maximum temperature 27 degrees Celsius. Minimum temperature 7 degrees Celsius, during which its population increases more than fivefold with an annual influx of tourists predominantly from the plains of northern India. In winter, Nainital receives snowfall between December and February with the temperatures varying between a maximum of 15 degrees Celsius and a minimum of 3 degrees Celsius. Its climate is classified as subtropical highland according to Car Paragraph PPEN Geiger system. Demographics. As of the 2001 Indian census, Nainital had a population of 38,559. Males constitute 54% of the population and females 46%. Nainital has an average literacy rate of 91%, higher than the national average of 59.5%. Male literacy is 98%, and female literacy is 96%. In Nainital, 1% of the population is under 6 years of age. Kumaonis form the major part of the town's population along with people from all over India. Mythology. It is believed that Nainital figures in some ancient myths of India. In the Manas Khond of the Skand Puranas, Nainital Lake is called Tri-Rishi Sarovar, hinting at the story of 3 sages, Atri, Pulastya and Puleha, who, upon finding no water in Nainital, dug a large hole at the location of the present-day lake and filled it with water from the holy lake Manasarovar in Tibet. According to law, a dip in Naini Lake, the lesser Manasarovar, earns merit equal to a dip in the Great Lake. It is also believed that the Naini Lake is one of the 64 Shakti Peeths, or religious sites where parts of the charred body of Sati fell on earth while being carried by Lord Shiva. The spot where Sati's eyes fell, came to be called Nainital or Lake of the Eye. The goddess Shakti is worshipped at the Naina Devi temple on the north shore of the present-day lake. History. Early construction. The Kumaon Hills came under British rule after the Anglo-Nepalese War, but the hill station town of Nainital was founded only in 1841, with the construction of the first European house by P. Baron, a sugar trader from Shahjahanpur. In his memoir, he wrote, "It is by far the best sight I have witnessed in the course of a 1,500 miles trek in the Himalayas." In 1846, when a Captain Madden of the Bengal Artillery visited Nainital, he recorded that houses were rapidly springing up in most parts of the settlement, some towards the crest of the Limitry Ranges were nearly 7,500 ft above sea level. The rugged and woody Ayarpatha was being gradually planted and that the favorite sites were on the undulating tract of forest land which stretched back from the head of the lake to the base of China and Deopatha. The church, St. John in the Wilderness, had been built. Soon, the town became a health resort favored both by British soldiers and by colonial officials and their families trying to escape the heat of the plains. Later, the town also became the summer residence of the governor of the United Provinces. The landslip of 1880. In September 1880 a landslide occurred at the north end of the town, burying 151 people. The first known landslide had occurred in 1866, and in 1879 there was a larger one at the same spot, Alma Hill, but the Great Slip occurred in the following year, on Saturday 18 September 1880. 2 days preceding the slip there was heavy rain. 20 inches to 35 and fell during the 40 hours ending on Saturday morning, and the downpour still lasted and continued for hours after the slip. This heavy fall naturally brought down streams of water from the hillside, some endangering the Victoria Hotel. Was not the only building threatened. Bell's shop, the volunteer orderly room and the Hindu temple were scenes of labour with a view to diverting streams. At 1:45 the landslip occurred, burying those in and around the buildings mentioned above. The total number of dead and missing were 108 Indian and 43 British nationals. The assembly rooms and the Naina Devi temple were both destroyed in the disaster. A recreation area known as the Flats was later built on the site and a new temple was also erected. To prevent further disasters, stormwater drains were constructed and building bylaws were made stricter. Establishment of schools. In the latter half of the 19th century a number of European schools for boys and girls were founded in Nainital. During the Victorian and Edwardian eras, students in these schools consisted largely of children of British colonial officials or soldiers. The Deopatha Girls' High School, now known as All Saints College, was established in 1869, near to where the High Court of Uttarakhand stands today. By 1906, there were over half a dozen such schools, including the Diocesan Boys' School and the Philander Smiths College. St. Joseph's College, Nainital, a day boarding and residential school built by Irish brothers in 1888, celebrates its 125th anniversary in 2013. St. Joseph's College is popularly known as SEM. Another school established was St. Mary's Convent, popularly known as Ramney, in 1878. Transition. By the 1880s, a mere 42 years after its founding, Nainital had become something of an exclusive English preserve, with the Indian presence in the town confined largely to a behind-the-scenes labour and service industry, or to the occasional prince. This state of affairs lasted for much of the Victorian era. The first signs of change came early in the 20th century, when Indian bureaucrats and professionals began arriving in town as part of the annual migration of the state government of the United Provinces to Nainital every summer. By 1901 its population had risen to 7,609. The next big change came in 1925, when British civil servants began to receive subsidies for taking their annual vacations in England, and, consequently, many stopped going to the hill stations in the summers. From then on until 1947, the British presence in Nainital continued to decline and was gradually replaced by a burgeoning Indian presence. Tourism. Tourism is the most significant segment of the Nainital's economy. Following other places most visited by tourists are, Nainital Lake, also known as Naini Lake. It is situated in the heart of the city and it is owing to this lake that Nainital earned its name. The pear-shaped lake is a tourist hotspot and acts as a magnet for all those visiting the hill resort. Here, a person can either take a leisurely stroll or indulge in boating and enjoy the surrounding beauty. The northern end of the lake is called Malital, while the southern one is called Torlital. The lake bridge that connects the two banks has quite a few shops as well as a post office, the only one in the world to be located on a bridge. Naina Devi Temple. The temple is located on the northern shore of Naini Lake. The presiding deity of the temple is More Naina Devi, represented by two netras or eyes. Flanking Naina Devi are the deities of Mata Kali and Lord Ganesha. Nainital is believed to be one of the 64 Shaktipeeths, where one of the body parts of goddess Sati fell, when Lord Shiva carried her body. In Nainital, the eyes of the goddess are assumed to have fallen. The shrine of Naina Devi is a must-visit for devout Hindus and was reconstructed after being destroyed in the 1880 landslide. One can also get an amazing view of the hill station, overlooking the lake, from the temple. St. John in the Wilderness, a church established in 1844 and is located on the north end of town, about half a mile northwest of the Naina Devi Temple. The church was so named by Daniel Wilson, the Bishop of Calcutta, who, after falling ill during a visit to Nainital in 1844 to lay the foundation of the church, was obliged to sleep in an unfinished house on the edge of the forest. A brass plaque on the altar is inscribed with names of the victims of the landslip of 1880. Governor's House, also known Raj Bhavan and formerly, Government House was built in 1899 and designed in the Victorian Gothic domestic style by the architect F. W. Stevens. Originally built as the summer residence of the Governor of the Northwest Province, it later became the summer residence for the Lieutenant Governor of the United Provinces. Currently, Raj Bhavan is the official guest house for the Governor of Uttarakhand and for visiting state guests. The complex consists of a two-storied mansion with 113 rooms, a large garden, a swimming pool, and golf links. Obtaining prior permission is a must for visiting. Snowview is situated at an altitude of 2,270 am and located atop the Shikhar Danda Ridge, is easily reachable by cable car. Charges for cable car is Rs 150 per person, Rs 75 for child. Charges are for stay for 1 hour at the point. Timings are 10:00 am to 5:00 pm on a clear day. It offers spectacular views of the snow-bound high Himalaya, including Nanda Devi, Trisal, and Nanda Kot. The best time of the year for viewing the mountains is late October and November. Nanni Peak, also known as China or China Peak or Naina Peak, is the highest peak in the town, with an altitude of 2,615 am and at a walking distance of 6 km from the north end of the town. From atop the peak, one can not only see a broad swathe of the snow-clad high Himalaya, but also obtain a panoramic view of Nainital town itself. The summit is an invigorating hike from Nainital town. In addition, for the less energetic visitors, ponies can be hired in Malital or on Snowview and the Great Wall of China, Tiffin Top, also known as Dorothy's Seat. This terraced hilltop, on Ayarpatha Hill, is a 4 km hike from the town centre and commands a nice view of the neighbouring countryside. Dorothy's Seat is a stonework picnic perch on Tiffin Top built as a memorial to a British Army officer's wife, Dorothy Kellett, by her husband Colonel J. P. Kellett DSOMC, City of London Regiment, and admirers after her death from septicemia aboard a ship bound for England to be with her 4 children, Elizabeth, Joan, Barbara and Richard. She was buried at sea in the Red Sea in 1936. The High Court of Uttarakhand building, formerly known as the Old Secretariat, when Nainital was the summer capital of United Provinces. Pt. GB Pant High Altitude Zoo, opened in 1994, it is one of the 2 high-altitude zoo in India, second is in Darjeeling, West Bengal. It houses various pheasants, for example Kalij pheasant etc. High-altitude endangered mammals like Siberian tiger, snow leopard, goat antelope foal and serow etc. The animals are according to their habitat altitude, for example snow leopard is kept on the highest point. Gurney House, the former residence of Jim Corbett, is located on Ayarpatha Hill. Before leaving for Kenya, Jim and his sister Maggie sold the house to a Zamindari family in Bahore. It is a private residence but is open to visitors as a museum of Corbett memorabilia. Eco Cave Gardens is a natural garden which is situated just next to Kumaon University campus. It is just 1 km away from Sukital and 2 km from Malital. It has 6 caves along with a musical fountain. Others, Laria Cantor, Land's End and Sukital. The surrounding hillside is rich with deodar, oak, pine and rhododendron. Places near Nainital. Pinto Lake, situated 22 km from the city centre, Pinto Lake is the biggest lake of Nainital. It is named after the second Pandava brother Bhima in the Mahabharata, who was known for his prodigious strength. The lake, which is larger than Naini Lake, is approximately 22 km from Nainital at an altitude of 1,370 am. There is an island in the lake with a popular restaurant on it. There is also a 17th-century temple complex, the Bhimeshwar, alongside a 40 ft high dam at one end of the lake. Sattel, literally 7 lakes, is at a distance of about 23 km from Nainital in the lower Himalayan range at an altitude of 1,370 am. It is a cluster of small interconnected lakes in the midst of an old oak forest. On approaching Sattel, the first lake encountered is the Nal Damayanti Lake. Next it is the Parnell Garud Lake. And finally there is a cluster of 3 lakes, Ram, Laxman and Sita lakes. Kirpa Tal, literally Trowel Lake, is an attractive lake about 10 km by road hike, from Nainital at an altitude of 1,635 am. It is popular with anglers and is surrounded by terraced fields, from which it presumably gets its name. Nainital, literally, nine-cornered lake, is 26 km from Nainital and 4 km from Pinto at an altitude of 1,220 am. The lake is almost 1 km long, 0.5 km wide and approximately 40 am deep. It is the deepest of the lakes in the greater Nainital area. According to legend, if one takes in all 9 corners in one glimpse, one can disappear in a cloud of smoke. Hanuman Gary, also known as Hanuman Garh, is located at an altitude 1,951 am. The temple complex is about 3.5 km from the tall little bus stop. The presiding deity of the temple is Lord Hanuman, the Vanara god of the Ramayana, and he is depicted tearing open his chest to reveal Rama and Sita in his heart. It is connected Saint Neem Karoli Baba, who had his ashram at Kainkai. Hanuman Gary is also known for its spectacular views. Murashkhan Murashkhan is near Bowali. Bowali is 40 km from Haldwani or 10 km from Nainital. You can contact at Forest Range Office at Bowali for booking. It is situated in quite a dense forest and this FRH is recently renovated. Uttarakhand is the place situated in the Nainital district of the Uttarakhand state of India. Uttarakhand means pond for water to horses. It is the picturesque site at the height of more than 2,000 meters. This place is famous for the prestigious Sainik School Uttarakhand, which is considered one of the top boarding schools in India, and Temple of Lord Galu, which is worshipped by the hill people. Educational and research institutions, the schools. For well over a century, Nainital has been known for its many schools. 4 schools from the British period continue to exist today: Sherwood College, established 1869. All Saints College, established 1869. St. Mary's Convent High School, established 1878. And St. Joseph's College, established 1888. In addition, a number of new schools have been established since independence: Blavidia Munda, established 1947. Samuel School, established in the 1940s in Malital. St. Amtril's Public School, established 1983. Parvati Prima Jagati Saraswati Vihar, established 1983. And Oakwood School, established 1989. Chet Ram Zarthaya Inter College Nainital Malital. Government Inter College, Torlital. Government Girls Inter College, Torlital. Patiya Sahit Sainik Vidlay Nainital, Sainik School, established 1966, in Gorkhal, Bowali. St. Xavier's School, established 1991, Upper Ayarpatha, Nainital, HGS, Pinto, Lakes International, Pinto and many more. Kumaon University, Nainital is home to one of the 2 campuses of Kumaon University. The university was founded in 1973 when it incorporated the Dan Singh Bisht Government College, which had been founded in 1951 by Thakur Dan Singh Bisht in memory of his late father, with the mathematician Dr. A.N. Singh as its first principal. This university is defamed due to its fake mark sheet gang and the university staff, Aries. The 50-year-old State Observatory at Nainital was reborn in 2004 as Aries, the Ayarpatha Research Institute of Observational Sciences, an autonomous institute under the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. The observatory, which had come into existence in Varanasi in 1954, was moved the following year to Nainital, under its more transparent skies. In 1961 it was moved once again to its present location, Nanni Peak, a few km south of the Nainital town. Ares's main objective is to provide national optical observing facilities for research in astronomy, astrophysics and the atmospheric sciences. Libraries. There are a number of libraries in the Nainital area. Among them are the Durga Lal Shah Municipal Public Library, on the Mall, founded in 1934. The Uttarakhand Academy of Administration, Library and Documentation Centre, Malital. The Ares Observatory Library. And the Kumaon University Library, Nainital. Environmental degradation. In recent years, academics, Geologists, concerned citizens and the judiciary have become alarmed at the rate of new construction in Nainital and its effect on the Naini Lake. As a result, efforts have been undertaken to check the deterioration of the lake and its surrounding ecosystem. Desilting of the lake and afforestation of the catchment area have been initiated. However, these measures have not been sufficient to cope with the ever-increasing pressure on its fragile ecosystem. The number of tourists, and with them the number of vehicles entering the town, is rapidly increasing, and this, if not checked, could turn Nainital into a disfigured and despoiled town. For example, it has been noticed that hundreds of fish die in Naini Lake every winter, the last such event having occurred in January 2006. Naini Lake is 20 am deep, but, according to experts, the level of oxygen in the hyperlimnic layer is much lower than is required to sustain fish, and this is mostly due to pollution, which includes illegal dumping of rubbish. The problem is exacerbated during winters when the polluted and nearly anoxic water from the bottom moves up to the surface on account of the lower temperature of the surface water. Fish die due to low oxygen content in this altered surface water. According to Rakesh Kumar, once district magistrate of Nainital, the main problem is trying to siphon off the water from the hyperlimnic layer, 6 am from the bottom of the lake. Once that is done, we can increase the oxygen content in the lake using aeration methods. That is the only permanent solution. In recent times some enlightened citizens have come forward to halt the degradation of this beautiful town. Since 2007 every September 18 is now observed as Clean Up Nainital Day, in remembrance of devastating landslide of September 18, 1880, which consumed 151 lives. On this historic day students and other sections of society join hands to clean the town. Further, a women's group Maitri does this cleaning work voluntarily now on every 18th. Taking cue from this, the municipality and district administration have started the scheme of Mission Butterfly for the solid waste management and have appointed lake wardens from the civil society to keep an eye on the polluters. In recent years, with the help of government and local environmental groups, the lake aeration project was started. The primary aim of the project was to decrease the BOD of the lake water. Anaerobic digestion of lake sediments is a much slower process than with aerobic digestion. Where aerobic digestion can result in the control or reduction of organic sediment levels, anaerobic digestion almost always allows organic sediments levels to increase. During anaerobic digestion, bacterial enzymes and lack of oxygen make the nutrients in the bottom sediments soluble. Then the nutrients return to the water column and are available to support new weed and algae growth. Anaerobic conditions at the lake bottom have a damaging effect on the food chain that supports fish populations as well as reducing or eliminating fish habitat, ultimately resulting in a reduction of the fish quality, size and quantity. To resolve this problem and improve the quality of the lake water, many underground high-pressure jets were laid near the lakebed at various places throughout the lake. The jets are supplied with highly pressurized air through a compressor located near the Deopatha temple. This compressed air is released via a net of jets near the lake bed. The air bubbles through the water. In the process aeration the water and improving the quality of water. Today one can see the results of hard work and efforts of the past few years. The lake water has become visibly cleaner and BOD levels have reduced dramatically. To complement the lake aeration project, with the help of scientists from the Govind Ballabh Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar, a number of plankton and algae-eating fishes were introduced in the lake. This has resulted in speeding up the cleaning up process. Now unlike in the past no more dead fishes on the lake's surface. In fact now the large number of colorful healthy fishes are a beautiful sight to see for tourists and local alike. Nainital and literature. Among the major authors who referred to Nainital in their writings were Rudyard Kipling, Munshi Premchand, Yashpal, Jainendra Kumar, Rahul Sankrityanan and Jim Corbett. Famous people with links to Nainital: Elsie Ingalls, physician and social reformer; Jim Corbett, hunter of man-eating tigers, author, conservationist and namesake of Jim Corbett National Park; Govind Ballabh Pant, statesman and leader of India's independence movement, first Indian Premier of British India; the first Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh and the first Home Minister of India, Hastings Ismay, 1st Baron Ismay, 1st Secretary-General of NATO, Percy Hobart, British Major General and Military Engineer, Ord Charles Wingate, British General and Commander of the Chindits in Burma during World War II, Suam Swami, Guru and Yogi, Niralamba Swami, Guru and Yogi, Swami Sri Lilas Haji Maharaj, Guru and Yogi, Guru of Sant Sri Asaramji Bapu, Swami Swayupananda, first President of Advaita Ashrama and direct disciple of Swami Vivekananda, Sam Manekshaw, Indian Army Chief of Staff during Indo-Pakistani War of 1971. Somnath Sharma, India's first Param Vichakra Award winner, Narayan Dutt Tiwari, Indian leader and politician, former Governor of Andhra Pradesh, former Chief Minister of Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh, and former Finance Minister of India. Krishna Chandra Pant, former Deputy Chairman of the Planning Commission of India, Rajendra K. Pashori, Chairman of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, Vandana Shiva, philosopher, environmental activist and eco-feminist, Satya Thakur, renowned psychoanalyst, Anup Jalota, singer, Amitabh Bachchan, Bollywood actor, Naseeruddin Shah, Bollywood actor, Kabir Bedi, Bollywood actor, Ruskin Bond, writer and novelist, Danny Dean Zongpa, Bollywood actor, Nirmal Pandey, Bollywood actor and singer, Dilip Chahal, Bollywood actor, Manish Pandey, cricketer who plays for Karnataka and Bangalore, Eric Maturin, British actor, Lalit Modi, Indian Premier League chairman, Manasvi Mambai, Miss India World 2010, Shivani, famous Hindi poet, gallery. Notes and references. Bateman, Josiah, The Life of the Right Reverend Daniel Wilson, D.D., late Lord Bishop of Calcutta and Metropolitan of India, Volume 2, John Murray, Albemarle Street, London. Corbett, SAYUJ, Inter HGS A Euro-Indian Culture in Daily Life, Oxford India Reprinter, Corbett, Jim, The Man-Eating Leopard of Rudraprayag, Oxford India Reprinter, Corbett, Jim, The Temple Tigers and More Man-Eaters of Kumaon, Oxford India Reprinter, Farrer, Joseph, Recollections of My Life, William Blackwood and Sons, Edinburgh and Londona, Imperial Gazetteer of India, Imperial Gazetteer of India, Volume 18, pages 322 a 323. Oxford University Press, Oxford and Londona, Kennedy, Dane, The Magic Mountains, Hill Stations and the British Raj, University of California Press, Berkeley, Los Angeles, and Oxford. 264 pages a, Kipling, Rudyard, The Story of the Gadsbys, Macmillan and Company, Londona, Kipling, Rudyard, Under the Deodars, Macmillan and Company, Londona, Maclaren, Eva Shaw, Elsie Ingalls, The Woman with the Torch, Macmillan and Company, New Yorker, McCrindle, J.W., Ancient India, as described in classical literature, Archibald Constable and Company, Westminster, Murphy, C.W., Notes on Wanderings in the Himalaya, containing descriptions of some of the grandest scenery of the snowy range, among others of Nainital, Agra Akbar Press, Agra, external links, Nainital information and pictures, official website of Uttarakhand Government, Nainital Travel Guide from Wiki Voyage, Nainital Facebook page, Nainital Google Plus page, Nainital website and blog.